Hey guys, end of first quarter, that's right. Woo! My name is Beth. Welcome to the Transparent Homeschool. If you are just checking out my videos for the first time or you've been with me for a while, you know that I homeschool two kiddos, a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, and we have a five and a half month old baby, and she's lovely and I love her. But we are finished with our first quarter, and I'm so excited. So today's video is just going to be really quickly kind of how things are going, how I feel our next quarter is going to be compared to this, and just kind of, some other things that I throw in there. But I just am so happy that I can look back on this, first quarter with nothing but just like excitement and positivity. Since last year, I was in the midst of my first trimester during our quarter one, and that was awful. And so this is a new experience for me. But last year was our first year, and so this is our second year homeschooling, and it's been completely different, guys, okay? Pregnancy, aside, just the entire makeup of our homeschool has changed so much in a year and over the summer. And I just can't wait to show you guys, all of our triumphs and things that we're still changing and tweaking. So let's get started. And the first thing that I do want to say is that we homeschool year round. So our first day of school, let me see my calendar. Our first day of school was July 15th, okay? And so it is mid-September, and it's great to kind of be that step ahead of the rest of the school world, I guess. Just because we are that much closer to the end of the year, and our schedules are different, and so our vacation times and our break weeks fall on different weeks than fall break and Christmas break and all of those things. And so number one that I have come to love about homeschooling is that there is a lot to be said about going to public places when school is in session, because there's nobody anywhere and you get the place to yourself, and it's awesome. So I've become very spoiled in that sense. But anyway, that aside, that really has nothing to do with it, but I just wanted to say that's awesome. So anyway, so we did start in July, and so now mid-September we're wrapping up our first quarter. And the first thing that I want to talk about as far as what I think we did really, really well this year, or I guess the beginning of this year, was our staggered entry of our subjects. And again, this is not original to me in any way, shape, or form. Being a newbie myself, I basically rely on other homeschool parents to soak in their ideas and kind of tweak it and make it my own. So that's what I did with my staggered entry, if you will, of my subjects. This idea, again, of course, and the lovely Pam Barnhill came up with it. And so I will link her YouTube channel below. It's the Homeschool Solutions. She has Facebook, she does podcasts, and she's amazing, and I love her. But she just has these amazing ideas for keeping your head and keeping your positivity and everything that goes with homeschooling. She's really a veteran in that sense, and so I love her. And then another excuse me. Another thing that I'm going to add from Pam Barnhill is she also suggested starting on a Wednesday instead of a Monday. That way you only have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, to do your homeschool during your first week. So it's a really chill, really relaxed start of school year. Excuse me, I have to get rid of my cough. And so that is something that we did not do, but I kind of wish that we would have. But next year, guys. Next year. I'm going to do it next year. However, we did do the staggered entry, and I'm going to quickly show you kind of how I had it, all organized. We'll go this way. And so week 1 here, like I said, was July 15th. And so we just started with our history, Bible, and literature. So again, if you watched my curriculum choices, we chose to go with the Level A Intro to World Cultures from Sunlight. And that is their history, Bible, and literature. And so that's all that we did the first week. That's all that we did. And it took us maybe 20, 25, maybe half hour. And we were done. My kids were like, this isn't school. I was like, yeah, it is. And they were like, this is so awesome. And then the next week we did our history, Bible, literature, and math. So then we added math in. So then the day got a little bit longer. And then the next week we added in our language arts. And so then our school year started kind of to slowly take shape, which was so great because, again, it gave us that opportunity to slowly kind of make our own rhythm and make our own routine that included our baby's schedule versus like the kids' schedule and my schedule and all of those things. So that has been super cool. So then that was week 3. And then going into August, like we were already in our 4th week of school, okay, in August. And that is when we finally added in our loop topic for our morning basket. And then the week after that was when we added in science and handwriting. So it was week 5. We went through 5 weeks of school until we had all of our subjects, kind of started. So, again, it was just a really lovely way to start our school year. There was no stress on my part as far as hitting the ground and going. We eased into it, and the kids got to be able to kind of get used to a certain topic before we added in another, and I loved it. And I'm going to do that for as long as I'm able to homeschool, hopefully forever. But again, Pam Barnhill is amazing, and thank you so much for that idea. The other thing that I wanted to say was about schedules. And so we really took our time this year so far to kind of find out what makes our family jive together. And so when you have a baby, they kind of ruin all sense of routine and all sense of jiveness in your family. So you really have to work to find that new normal for you guys, which is what babies do. I mean, come on, let's be honest here. Any sense of order or routine that you thought you had, out the window, it's gone because babies just ruin it. But we love them, so we don't mind. But what happened to us was that I was trying to recreate again this morning, school in the morning idea. And that really didn't work because my baby had to be fed. My kids had to be fed, and we had to do, breakfast and get changed. She had to go down for a nap. The kids had to have lunch and all this stuff. And since it was still summer, they wanted to go outside and play. So it was really hard to juggle all of that in the morning and still do all of those things that we wanted to do as far as just life, what kids wanted to do. So what really ended up happening was I had to kind of re-examine my idea of our routine. And so what ended up happening was that I really had to step out of the box of which I thought homeschooling for me looked like. And I think this happened because of last year, you guys, first year homeschool parent, I thought that we had to do everything in the morning and then be done by the afternoon and have that all open and ready for whatever, which is good. And some people do it that way. But for us right now, that's just not how our reality is working out. And again, homeschool offers you that freedom. It's so great not to have those restraints on you and to be able to really make your own schedule, okay? So what we ended up doing, because it works so well with like how our family life goes and then how the baby's kind of schedule goes, is we take these big chunks of time, and then we do subjects, and then we take a big break, and then we do another chunk, and then we take a big break, and then we finish up at nighttime. And so I did, with like my curriculum video, I said that we had a morning basket. Well, our morning basket has now become our evening basket because it did not fit into kind of the time that we had, right? So, like, because there was history, Bible, literature, there's poetry in there, and then I had a lute topic, it really wasn't feasible to do all of that, and then math, and then language arts, and then handwriting and science, and all of that stuff that went into it just in the morning. I mean, I tried that for maybe a week or so, probably not even a week, and I was like, this is not working. So what we ended up doing was, like I said, we took our morning basket, our history, Bible, literature, all that stuff, we moved it to nighttime. And by that time, we've had all of our other subjects out of the way. They've had lunch, they've had playtime, they've had dad time when he comes home from work. And then we do dinner, we get ready for bed, and then we do our basket. And the difference in their, like, attention span and their reactiveness, as far as like me asking questions or them kind of engaging me in questions, has been totally different, right, guys? And so, like, they will start out on their rugs with their quiet boxes, and they'll be doing their activities, and then somehow halfway through our reading, they'll end up on the couch with me cuddling, and I love that. Oh, it's so great. Because if you're a mother of a boy, you only have a few short years before they don't want to touch you. They don't want anything to do with you. And so I am soaking up all of the cuddles that I can while I can. But other than that, they're rested and they're ready to sit down and kind of get ready for bed by listening to me read. And I love that. So that being said, that's what we did. So this is kind of how our schedule goes other than that. So we will wake up, and they are really early risers, and I am not, because I'm still getting up 2 or 3 times a night to feed my lovely, adorable baby, but it's my pleasure. Anyway, the memories of full night sleeps, when will they come back? Anyway, so I tried to wake up at like 6:30 like I used to, okay? And that's when I would do my devotions, and that's when I'm reading my Bible, and I'm going to have my quiet time, and then I would get the kids up, and then we would, start our day. That is a far distant memory, a mama I don't even know anymore. So usually what happens is they get up, and I have kind of, I don't want to say trained them, but they kind of know they can't get out of their room until I'm awake and ready and, able to kind of start our day. And so what they'll do is they will play quietly in their room. They'll read books, they'll play blocks, they'll do Legos, and then when I get up, I will take my shower, I will feed our baby, and then we'll go and have breakfast together as a family. And then after that, they will get their clothes changed and their teeth brushed. Now, because of the baby, I've had to really kind of outsource this area to them. I trust them. I don't want to say trust. I have started to release my reins of control a little bit on what they wear and brushing their teeth. And so, because I want them to be independent, I don't have, 6 hands and 2 heads. So I am putting our baby down for her morning nap, okay, while they're doing their teeth and changing their clothes. So sometimes my kids come to the table in like their pajamas still, which, whatever, it's not a big deal. Sometimes they come in like winter clothes, not a big deal. So they dress themselves, more or less. And then as long as they have some semblance of teeth brushing going on, I'm happy with that too. So that's, call me a bad mom, but that's where we are right now. And then we do math first, and then while one of my kids is focusing on their math, I have a whole thing for the other child to do. So like on certain days, we'll do like ABC Mouse or educational computer games, and they have headphones. And so on the other side of this wall, if you've seen my homeschool room, is our computer. And so they're there, so I can check on them if I need to. And then right back there is a bathroom. And so everything's kind of in this room, which I love. But we'll do like educational computer games. They can read, they can build with blocks. They can do stamp and like art things. And then when it's their turn, they'll just switch and then they'll do that. And so we do math and then we do language arts. And that's it for the morning, guys. Like, that's all that we do. And it literally takes us from 9:30 to about 11, which is fine. And then we stop. They go outside for about a half an hour or play inside if it's raining, or they do some kind of movement, I'll get the baby up, I'll feed her, and she'll have some, mommy time while they're playing, and then I will make lunch and we'll have lunch. Then after that, at like 1 or so, then we will clean up from lunch and they'll go get their handwriting, and they will do their handwriting while I am nursing again, and then I'll put her down for her afternoon nap, and her afternoon nap is a lot longer than her morning nap, which is great. So we'll come back and we'll do science and any project that we need to do. And then they will go for their quiet time, which basically involves making a mess of their room, but they're quiet about it, so I'm okay. And then they clean it up afterward, of course. And then I get my alone time. Now people are like, oh, you still have like your 6-year-old doing quiet time? Yeah. Like, I need alone time myself because I'm going to go crazy if I don't. But that's like that's become my cherished time alone. That's when I do my devotions. If I'm like overly tired because of my night and my lack of sleep, I take like a 15-minute nap. Really only 15 minutes. I set my alarm, guys. And then I get anything like kind of organized or cleaned up that we were doing, and then we just get ready for our day, for the rest of our day. And so they get up, everyone kind of stops quiet time. I want to say get up, but they stop quiet time, and then we go outside, we go to the park, any kind of thing that we're doing, that's when we do it. And then we go and have dinner, and then we do our morning, or our evening basket, and then they go to sleep. And so that's kind of how we are right now, which is so cool with me. So that's kind of our schedule right now. And then this quarter has been my first experience with the language arts course of The Good and the Beautiful, and I love this curriculum, guys. I love it so much. And I know there are tons and tons of videos out there about The Good and the Beautiful, but I just love it so much. And again, this is the first quarter, and if you have been around for any amount of time on my channel, I have told you how my son is in first grade, but I really feel that he needed to start over in language arts because last year it just didn't click with him, and I think we really needed to take the time to review it, and I'm so glad that we did. And especially this book, it's been so awesome for us. So we are at the end of the first quarter, and this is the amount that he's done. We are almost about 3/4 of the way finished. And, we don't really have that much, I don't think, to last us the rest of the year. So I think what's going to end up happening is we're going to have to start level 1. And I have level 1 because I ordered both at the same time because I didn't know which one that he was going to be, going into. So I was like, oh, we'll just get both of them. So, other than that, we have been doing spelling, and he's been doing awesome with spelling. We do the phonics cards review every day, and he's super excited about that. Sight words. And then the reading. And that's kind of all that we do for language arts. And he loves it. I love it. And my daughter is so jealous. She's like, when can I have the book? And I'm like, oh, you're so cute. Next year. But I just, guys, this year has been so different from last year. I'm so excited to keep going with this year and to see where it takes us with the projects that we're going to do and the learning that's going to happen and all of that. So Again, thank you so much for spending your time with me. And this has been my Q1 review. It's the end of our first quarter. Woohoo! So I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.